Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to take you beyond the diet by talking about the 5 top ways that we self-sabotage. I spent years and years, as most of you know, in and out of fad dieting, in and out of 30, 40, 50-pound fluctuations, because I kept getting stuck in cycles of self-sabotage. And those cycles of self-sabotage ended up causing me to dig for a new diet, to dig for a new way that I could release the weight so that I could finally feel more confident and better about myself. But the reality of that is that the more that I continued to dig for the diets and the more that I continued to use what I hated about myself to create change, the more I got stuck in the cycle and the more I self-sabotaged, and hundreds of diets later, thousands of times stepping on the scale on and off for years and years and years, it took me to finally realize that that was something that I just wasn't willing to put myself through anymore. And I hope you're here today to realize that you don't have to put yourself through that either. And the reasons that we sabotage aren't your fault. We self-sabotage because of the reality that we live in a world that expects us to be perfect, in a world that expects us to do everything in a certain way, in a world that expects us to have so much willpower against the things that are really trying to drag us down. And today I'm going to tell you to go beyond the diet culture, beyond all of those ideas. And I want you to start thinking about these 5 ways that we self sabotage and how you can overcome them. The first step is going to be identifying them. Super easy. I'm going to tell you exactly what those 5 things are that cause you to self sabotage. The second thing is going to be, after you look out for them, is to address them. And then the third thing is going to be to hold yourself accountable and follow through with no longer doing those things before. I talk about these 5 things in my book, Energetic Eating. If you guys don't have a copy, it's available on Amazon. I talk about it as the 5 agreements or the 5 promises that we make to ourselves so that we don't get stuck in that diet trap, in that yo-yo diet cycle, so that we can have sustainable habits and live a lifetime of joy in a body that we love. So here they are. All right. The first thing is that we tend to have a negative belief or a limiting belief about ourselves. And we walk around and we say, I hate the way I look. I hate the way I look. I hate the way I look in the mirror. I hate the way I look in these clothes. I hate the way that I look in these pictures. And that negative talk that we have, hate the way we look, drives us towards doing one thing that I've done thousands of times in hotels, in houses, at rest stops, in gyms. And if you don't know what it is yet, that thing is weighing myself. Yes, those negative words, I hate the way I look, used to cause me to go and to find the scale and step on it and see, how bad do I hate the way I look? Is it really as bad as I think it is? And if it is, I'm going to beat myself up even more, and I'm going to go find that diet, and I'm going to, and make it all better. And then I will finally love myself. So what are we looking at here as far as self-sabotage goes? Self-sabotage happens because we have a negative belief that's brewing inside of us that comes and rears its ugly head and tells us that we're not good enough, and tells us these things that keep us in that upset, angry, sad, disappointed state. And that's what leads us to self-sabotage, is that we're not releasing those things. We are affirming those beliefs with behaviors. So that first one is measurement. Are you affirming negative beliefs, the negative belief that you hate the way you look, with an affirming behavior such as stepping on the scale and measuring yourself? So you're going to look out for that belief, and you're going to look out for yourself going to the scale to see how bad it is, and you are not going to do that. Your action task is to not get on the scale. If you want to be successful with that, the best thing you can do is to get rid of the one that you have. And that's exactly what I did years ago, 7 years ago. I got my scale. I was so frustrated. I was over it. I brought it over to the street, and a neighbor was driving by. We hailed her down. She drove over the scale with her car, crashed into a million pieces. You guys might think I'm nuts, by saying this to you, but that's how bad it was that I didn't want to see that number anymore. And I'll tell you, it was the best decision that I ever made. Best decision I ever made. So if you destroy your scale, you throw it on the ground, you throw it away, you put it somewhere else, you sell it online, you give it away on a community gifting site, you take a baseball bat to it, whatever, let us know because that is one of the number one ways you can empower yourself and stop sabotaging yourself when it comes to your health. The second thing that you want to listen for in your mind is when you tell yourself, I can't trust my body. I can't trust myself to make the choices that I want to make. This is like a trust issue, right? Like when I treat myself a certain way, I should be losing weight. And when you treat yourself that way and you don't lose the weight, then you feel like you can't trust yourself. You can't trust your body. You can't trust your body to do what you want it to do. Maybe you're going through perimenopause and the things that you used to try don't work anymore. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't trust my body. My body is attacking me. Well, it's not. You know what's attacking you is your brain. Your mind is attacking you. And this second thing that you're looking out for is just pure negativity. Negativity against yourself, negativity against the trust that you could have for yourself, just pure negativity. I can't trust my body. I can't trust the diet. I can't trust the situation I'm in, right? That lack of trust is so embedded with negativity that we get stuck there. So what I want you to look out for is when you feel like you can't trust yourself in some way. And then I want you to look for how that is a negative feedback loop going on in your brain and your body, telling you, I can't trust myself, therefore I can't do it, therefore I'm not good enough, therefore, right? And it goes down in this whole spiral of negative thinking. So the number one thing you can do is to flip that around and to just flip the negative thinking. I trust myself so much right now. I trust my body. I trust my body's cues. I trust my body in this space. I trust myself. I trust that my body knows exactly what to do. We get to feed ourselves those positive thoughts instead of the negative ones. The third way we self-sabotage is when we believe we don't have any willpower. So we walk around and we say, well, it's just like the trust thing, right? I don't have any willpower. I don't have willpower around food. I don't have willpower around my phone. I don't have any willpower around unhealthy sleep behaviors. I don't have any willpower. We like just have all this blame on our willpower, right? We're like, it's because I don't have enough of that. Well, it's not true. What you don't have is support. So rather than thinking and blaming yourself for not having any willpower, I want you to think about how the environment that you're in is supporting you or not supporting you. So we remove this idea of blaming ourselves or blaming our external circumstances, and instead we can say, okay, in order for me to be able to be successful, I am going to X, Y, and Z. In order for me to choose vegetables for half of my plate at lunch and dinner, I'm going to have them ready for me in the refrigerator. Okay, so then you get to have them ready for yourself in the refrigerator. Find the time to get them ready in the refrigerator. And if you feel like you don't have any time, that's a whole other issue. Okay, if you have time to do things that aren't serving you, you have time to do things that are serving you. It's all about your priorities. And when your health is a priority, everything else falls into place. So it's not a willpower problem. It might be a time management problem. It might be a priority problem, but it's not a willpower problem. I promise you, you are strong enough and you don't need to blame willpower. The fourth way that we self-sabotage is we believe that everybody's judging us, right? We walk into a space and we think, oh, everybody's looking at how much weight I put on. Everybody's looking at how my body is pouring out of these pants. Everybody is looking at how when I walk, I'm jiggling. Everybody is looking at how different I look right now. Everybody's looking at how old I look right now, right? We get into that comparison place. This is comparison. This is another one of the ways we sabotage ourselves. We compare ourselves to other people, or we think people are comparing us to our former selves or to themselves, right? we can't walk around believing that everybody is comparing each other to each other. Instead of believing that everybody's judging you, you could also flip it and say, everybody is loving me. I have a coach who I love dearly. I actually have been at a conference with her this week, and she tells this amazing story of how whenever somebody has something negative to say, or you believe that someone's judging you, or you believe that they are, thinking thoughts about you, whatever they say, the number one thing you can say is, "Yep, enjoy the view." Enjoy the view because I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress and I love myself and I love this life I'm living and I love the choices I'm making and I love that you're paying attention. I love that I matter to you so much that you want to spend your energy thinking about that. So, regardless of whether or not they're doing it, you can convince yourself all day long that, that people aren't judging you or they're not thinking about you or not to worry about that and trying to shove that down. But the way that you're actually going to change that is to own it and say, "Yep, the attention's on me. Enjoy the view because I am here and I am amazing and I look the way I look and I am the way that I am and this is the way that it is because I'm just a person existing in the world and I'm freaking awesome." So stop trying to believe that people are comparing you or stop trying to compare yourself to others and just be the light that you want to be. Own it and then move on. And then the last thing is that we tend to do to self-sabotage is procrastinate. I used to be the queen of procrastination. I'm going to wait till Monday. I'm going to wait to take care of my health until after this event. I'm going to wait until after my kids are older. I'm going to wait until after this illness goes away. I'm going to wait until after I make enough money. I'm going to wait until after the holidays. I'm going to wait until bathing suit season. I'm going to wait until January 1st. Like, as soon as you hear that in your head, that is a warning sign telling you that you are procrastinating on something very, very, very important in your body. And what's getting in the way for you isn't that you don't have willpower, going back to that, it's that you are afraid. You are probably afraid of taking action that it's not going to work. You might be afraid of being successful and having to eat healthy the rest of your life. You might be afraid that you are setting up such a high standard for yourself that you're going to fail again. And all of that fear is causing you to procrastinate and to not take action just because of fear. So, the number one thing you can do is to look out for that signal where you say, "I'm not going to do this yet," this insert very important thing, because of this thing that's in the way. And I want you to say instead, "I am going to do this because of." So I am going to start now because my kids are young and I want to live a long life with them. I am going to start eating healthy today because I have a lot of work responsibilities and I want to show up for them feeling really confident and I don't want to feel tired. So anything you're using to procrastinate, right? So like work, kids, um, um, family events, right? Like anything that you feel like you are putting off taking care of yourself gets to be now. It gets to be now. So look out for those 5 things, guys. Look out for hating the way you look and measuring yourself. Do not step on that scale. Look out for that negativity and distrust of your body and reframe it into "I trust myself and love myself." Look out for when you feel like you don't have any willpower and you're blaming yourself or external circumstances, and actually shift and change what's going on around you so that you can make it easier to take action. Look out for that comparison gremlin, right? Everybody's judging me. And instead own it and say, "Awesome, I'm here, enjoy the view," whatever it is you want to say to just welcome the attention on you because you're freaking awesome. And then watch out for that procrastination sabotage where we want to start late, 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 later, after, at a different time. It's not time right now. And reframe it into "it is time right now because of." So if you think in your head you procrastinate, "It's not a good time right now because my kids are young," it is a damn good time right now because my kids are young. It's not a good time right now because work is stressful. It is imperative that I take action right now because work is stressful, right? I can't do it because I don't have enough time. I will make time because life is not waiting for me. Life is not waiting for me. I will make time right now in my day to take care of myself and my health because I am not going to wait the rest of my life to do it. I won't. If it's financial responsibility for yourself, right? I am not going to do this because I don't have enough money. I am going to do this right now because I don't have enough money. And guess what? If I don't invest in my health right now, that is going to get way worse down the road. You can have an argument for anything with that procrastination gremlin that's going on in your head. So don't let it sabotage you. You have to face it head on. I come in here to share all this with you because I want every single one of you to have the strategies to be able to find when this crap is going on in our heads and what it leads us to do that causes us to sabotage some pretty amazing steps that we take for our health and well-being, but we can't seem to sustain them. This stuff gets buried deep into our subconscious, and it's my job to drag that stuff out, to wipe it down and throw it away or put it back in nice and clean, whatever we want to do with it. And I want to help you do that. I help my clients do it in the energetic eating method, which started on Monday. There's still time to sign up by next week. And I can also help you by getting on a 20-minute weight release call. It's a weight release breakthrough call. It's where we talk about the breakthroughs that you need in order to release whatever it is that's holding you back. And that call is completely free, and that call is being offered to you this month of October. I'm going to put a link to book that free call in the comments. But if you want to join us inside Energetic Eating in the program, the 12-week program that started on Monday, and I can give you a quick boost to hop in and to keep going along in a positive trajectory, then I want you to reach out, DM me. Let's get on the phone now because this time right now is going to go by and suddenly it's going to be January and you're going to look back and you'll be like, why did I weigh myself so much? I've been so negative to myself. I didn't have any willpower. I failed again. Now everybody's judging me and now it's too late to change. If you don't want that stuff hanging around, you've got to join me or at least hop on the call with me so that that doesn't happen to you again.